There is a lot of Chinese restaurants in BGC, so I decided to create a tier list that ranks all of the Chinese restaurants in BGC according to 4 criteria. How does it taste? What is the best value? How authentic is it? And service and ambiance. And I rated all the restaurants that I know and that I've personally tried. I do know that there's a few more in Fort Strip. And at the end of this video, I want to share with you one notable runner-up place that I found to be one of the best Tony's places that is not in BGC, but I just wanted to share that as well. So I want to start with the SM Aura area. At SM Aura, there is 3 Chinese restaurants: Paradise Dynasty, Tuan Tuan, and Lugang. Tuan Tuan and Lugang are actually owned by the same company, but I find that their dishes are not very authentic. They lack taste. The service is all right, and in general, I just don't think it's good value for money. So I'd actually rank those at a D. They're places that I technically don't ever go to. Then there's Paradise Dynasty, which I found that it was a step up, but it's still, in terms of value, it lacked, and the food was very oily. And I just found that it was just somewhat authentic, so I'd rank that actually as a C. You then have the Surendra area, which has Wang Fu and Shi Lin. Both of these places I have tried on numerous times. Wang Fu was alright for the hot and sour soup, so I've tended to enjoy going there for that. But other than that, I would rank both of those as not so authentic and lacking in terms of flavor and taste. And definitely when it comes to the authenticity, it's a no-go for me. So both of those are actually a C. And then you have the hotels. The hotels have some of the best Chinese restaurants that I have personally found, but they are really pricey and up there. So if we start with the Grand Hyatt, you have number 8 China House, which is fantastic for the authenticity part. It's very flavorful. The food there is not going to let you down, but unfortunately the value and the cost of how much you're going to spend is way up there. And because of that, I have to give it just an A, because you are going to spend quite a lot of money, and I found that the value for money was quite low. However, the authenticity, the taste, the service, and the ambiance are just amazing there. Definitely a place that I like going to quite a lot. I recommend their Kung Pao chicken there. It is a very flavorful and masterfully done dish. I found that some of the dishes were all right when you compare it to other Chinese restaurants in the area. And then you have the Shangri-La, which has Canton Road. And for Canton Road, I found that personally, they give you gigantic family portion sizes. So even though it looks like it's a lot, they actually give you a very fair portion. And because of that, their value is insanely high. The authenticity and flavor is on point. If you look at how they make the egg or the fried rice, it's actually a special technique where you drizzle the egg as it's burning, and it makes special spirals. That place is an S. It is actually my favorite Chinese place of all of BGC. It's a place that I tend to frequent quite often. I know that a lot of people haven't tried it, and I would really recommend it if it's your first time trying a Chinese restaurant. Please don't go to places like the D tier or the C tier, just because it's not very authentic and you're not gonna understand what real Chinese flavor tastes like. So Canton is definitely an S. It is one of my absolute favorites. Then in One Bonifacio, you have 3 places. You have Malatang, which is a hot pot place where you can weigh things yourself. That place is actually quite dirty, unfortunately, but the value for money is really there because you can just weigh your own food, pick what you enjoy, and they will cook it. The flavor is actually fairly authentic, and the value for money is definitely there. So I'd actually rate that as an A. Then you have Zhenbao, which is similar. It's a hot pot place. You can't go wrong with paying 999 pesos for unlimited hot pot that mimics very Chinese stuff. The sauces that you can make are similar to Malatang, where they're both really good. And because of that, Zhenbao I'd rank as an A as well. However, when you talk about authenticity and taste and that, it's not really, in my opinion, tasting Chinese food. It's just a hot pot experience, but they're both really cool experiences. And then very close to One Bonifacio, you actually have Din Tai Fung, which is a Michelin star restaurant. It's very famous. It's really well known. I know that it's usually packed there when you go. Obviously, value for money is there. Authenticity is definitely going to be there, although it's like a little bit a step down from Canton Road. It is going to be on S only because everybody loves it. It is authentic, it's cheap, you get value for it. It's not a place I frequent too often because I find the freshness and the taste of the food is not exactly what I want for my Chinese taste buds. However, it is definitely a really good place to go and everybody seems to love it. If you want an elevated experience, you definitely would go to Grand Hyatt or Shangri-La for Canton Road and number 8 China House. So then you have places in different places such as CXY. This is a new place that opened up. I went and I checked it out. The place looked a little bit dirty for me. I actually have not tried it, but I just thought that in general, it looked like it was actually authentic when it comes to Chinese food. I haven't personally tried it, so I can't really rate that place, so I'm not going to, but it is a place out there. There are places in Fort Strip that has Chinese restaurants as well. You can go and check those out. And then finally, we have the Uptown area, which has Tim Ho Wan, which is a Michelin star place. Personally, I didn't like it. It's a step lower than Din Tai Fung for me and my terms, so I would actually rate that as a B. And then you have Wong Place, which is close to Fort Strip, but it's a little bit outside of it. It's in the new, what I call High Street area of BGC, but that place just recently opened up. It's still in soft opening as of the time of this video, and I would actually rate that as an A. And simply because they are new and they are trying dishes out that are Chinese, I found them to be somewhat authentic. Some dishes are fusions. However, the taste was definitely there for most dishes. The value is decent and the ambiance is on point. Definitely go check out any place that is an S tier, which is Canton Road. If it's your first time trying Chinese food, I really recommend Canton Road. It is the best place I found in BGC, and you will find a lot of Chinese people love that place just because it's solid, authentic Chinese food. Now, there are places outside of BGC that are really good, and I'm sure you've already heard of them, such as Gloria Marius, China Blue, Ocean Palace, all these places. They are really well known for being Chinese restaurants. But the runner-up and the place that I wanted to recommend was actually a place called Pilia's Kitchen, and it is in Rockwell. It's in the Grid place that has really good Taiwanese food, and it is definitely worth going to try out their beef noodles and their beef rolls.